Good evening, everyone. Welcome. It is time for Bronco baseball on a Saturday night in El Dorado, a beautiful Saturday night. Game 2 of a 3-game series between the El Dorado Broncos and the Great Bend Batcats. Kurt Caden with you from McDonald Stadium. Nice to have you tuned in. Let's take a look at the starting lineups tonight. For Great Bend, they bat Reese Johnson first, Austin McNicholas second, Gavin Johnson third, Andrew Schatz fourth, Blaine Ray fifth, Zach Barone will bat sixth, Nolan Riley seventh, Nick Urban McCulloch will bat eighth, and Thomas Alexander will bat ninth for Great Bend. Out in the field tonight for El Dorado, Jarrett Coyne is in left field. The center fielder is Pete Carvala, and in right field, Austin Toth. Around the infield, Tanner Sheets moves from second to third base tonight. Over at shortstop, Caleb Littlejim, brother of Gabe Littlejim. Second base, Jordan Anstandig, who did a fine job in left field last night. He's back at second base. And at first base is Daniel DeSimone. Catching tonight is Brady Sargent. And on the hill for the Broncos, number 27, a lefty, Dylan Zenzel. And we're ready for baseball. First batter is Reese Johnson. And did that hit him? That did hit him. So the first pitch, first batter, and an HBP. Our first pitch temperature, 87 degrees, feels like 90. Humidity at 46%. Winds are out of the south at 7 miles an hour. And well, my hourly forecast says a 20% chance of rain. I think they put that on there just in case it does rain. Then they can say, well, we said there was a 20% chance, but it doesn't look very threatening right now. 1 ball and no strikes to Austin McNicholas. That one's right in there for strike one. Tomorrow, weather-wise, might be a different story. Supposed to have storms by evening. I wonder if anyone, since it's getaway day for Great Bend, as that one's in there for strike two, would they think about maybe starting at 1 or 2 or 3 and trying to beat the weather? Because the Liberals doing that great. Because I have to look a little closer at the weather. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Zenzel very efficiently takes care of Austin McNicholas, swinging on the third strike. And that'll bring up the designated hitter tonight. He caught last night, Gavin Johnson. Left-handed batter is Gavin Johnson. Over at first base, Reese Johnson. And on the move is Johnson. Sargent with a strong peg, but that base is stolen for Reese Johnson. So a stolen base. That pitch was a ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Dylan Zenzel, a 6'1", 190-pounder out of Royal Oak, Michigan. Dylan is one of our many Alma Scots. Curveball missed, 2-0. Gavin Johnson batting. He's from San Antonio, Texas, goes to Sam Houston State University. He's ahead 2-0. Slow curve in. That's fouled out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Gavin Johnson in his 7th game now for Great Bend. He's their leading hitter, 500 average, 16 at-bats, 8 hits. He's been walked 10 times. 2 balls and a strike in the pitch, and that one's bounced to DeSimone. He'll take it. Touch the bag to retire Gavin Johnson. Reese Johnson advances to third, but now 2 away. Anthony Schatz up there for Andrew. The lineup says Anthony, or the roster. Oh, there's 2 Schatz. You are, as usual. Yeah, I know. What is this? First pitch was a ball. That one in there for a strike. So this is Andrew Schatz from Lafayette, California. Lives in California and goes to Virginia Commonwealth. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch, a swing and a miss. May have foul tipped it, I guess. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Andrew Schatz batting .200 on the season, 6 hits in 30 at-bats. He has struck out 8 times. And Dylan Zenzel, after hitting Reese Johnson, has a chance to get out of this with no damage, and he does. A swing and a miss for strike 3. So after an opening hit by pitch, a couple of strikeouts and an infield ground out, we head to the bottom of the first inning. Great Bend 0, El Dorado coming to bat. Great to have you watching and listening tonight. This is Bronco Baseball on YouTube. Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a look at the batting order tonight for El Dorado. Austin Toth leads off. Jarrett Coyne batting second. Tanner Sheets bats third. Maddox Solomon fourth. Brady Sargent in the 5-hole. Jordan Anstandiggle bats sixth. Daniel DeSimone seventh. Caleb Littlejim batting eighth. And Pete Carvala will bat ninth. Out in the field for the Batcats of Great Bend. In left field is Urban McCulloch. Center field is Blaine Ray, and in right field, Zach Barone. Around the infield, Thomas Alexander's at third base. The shortstop is Reese Johnson. At second base tonight is Austin McNicholas, and the first baseman is Nolan Riley. Behind the plate, Andrew Schatz, and the pitcher for Great Bend, he's a righty, Jonathan Perry. And Austin Toth will lead it off here for El Dorado. Austin Toth out of South Bend, Indiana, 6 foot 175 pounds, righty, goes to Pine Bluff University, and he looks at ball 1. Jonathan Perry on the hill. He's pitches from the stretch, and a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Perry from Sharpsville, Pennsylvania, goes to Eastern Gateway Community College. And that, you know, the hit my pitches last night and tonight, I haven't really noticed an immediate call by the umpires yet. Whether they usually, if a batter's hit, you see the hands fly in the air, let everyone know the ball's dead. The hit by pitch in the top of the first inning, didn't see a whole lot there. Toth said it hit me, ran down to first, and was granted. So, how many games, Gary, have you seen where the leadoff batter in each game, in the top of the first and the bottom of the first, gets on base by the HBP? 0. That's a lot of games. 2 balls and no strikes. Jarrett Coyne got a rare night off last night. Right-handed batter, slightly open stance. And on the move is Toth. Pitch, fastball's a little bit high, and the throw is a beauty and out. Close play, but Toth is out. So a caught stealing for the Broncos. 3 balls and no strikes here to Jarrett Coyne. And that pitch high. Of course, we always like to drift into the mind. I wonder what the Broncos, with a 2-0 count, you would imagine fastballs coming. So probably not the most ideal pitch to steal on, whether that was Austin Toth or was he sent. It wasn't a hit and run because Coyne didn't swing. So that was an interesting count to run on right there. Coyne at first with one away, and here's Tanner Sheets, and he looks at an inside strike. No balls and a strike to the right-handed batting Sheets, and a swing and a miss, strike two. Sheets sees his average at 259 right now, 14 out of 54. Leading at-bat guy for El Dorado with 54 at-bats. No balls, 2 strikes. Long look in by Perry on the pitch. Nearly hit him. Late action on the movement there from Perry. Perry's got some pretty good lettuce up top. A lot of hair. Daniel Nelson, you're grading the hair on Jonathan Perry. Not bad, right? Oh, that one high. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gabe, could you work a little Noah Syndergaard look there? No. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and that one inside, ball 3. And Perry looked like he lost his balance after he threw it. A hit by pitch and a walk, but a caught stealing. 1 away for El Dorado, bottom of the first inning, no score. Tanner Sheets looking at a 3-ball, 2 strike count. And now will Jarrett Coyne be on the move here? Big hole on the right side for Sheets. Not going. That pitch is outside, ball 4. And Maddox Solomon will stand in. So for Perry, this is really he's only had 1 game and he's only pitched 1 inning so far this year. It was a clean inning. And now who's in charge of music tonight? Gabe Little Jim. Little almost opera-like music for Maddox Solomon's walk-up music. Was that request or really? Oh, it is. All right. Okay. That pitch was that a strike? Ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Maddox Solomon. The pitch, and maybe a little bit up, maybe a little bit out. 2 balls and no strikes to Maddox Solomon. Two balls and no strikes. Good hitters count here for Solomon, and the pitch, that's outside, ball 3. And Perry, after each delivery, just doesn't look quite sure of himself, and the shortstop is going to come in, Reese Johnson, to talk to him. Three balls and no strikes here to Maddox Solomon. And now after that conference, here's a 3-0 pitch to Solomon. I would think taking here, and that one's in there for strike 1. So 3 balls, 1 strike to Maddox Solomon. Brady Sargent waits on deck. Here's the 3-1. That's outside, ball 4. A hit batter and 3 walks. And the bases are loaded for El Dorado. And Brady Sargent will stand in. And action already, a slow walk out for Roger Ward. Lemon will start to warm up down in the bullpen. Well, last night, Liberal and Hayesville were rained out, so they're playing a doubleheader today. Hayes and Derby, big series in Derby. They got to the 11th inning last night, tied, and then the rains came. So they had to suspend it and finish that today. So the only team that got a win in the standings last night was El Dorado. They gained a half game on everyone. Broncos are 6-7, and that puts them percentage points ahead of Dodge City right now. El Dorado in 4th place, and winners of 3 in a row, and a combined no-hitter last night for El Dorado. 5 innings by Daniel Nelson, who told us Wednesday night he was going to do just that. Foul ball, Brady Sargent. The only thing Daniel was off of was the CG that he was telling. No complete game, but he almost got a complete game, 5 innings. We only played 6. And Austin Toth got a save out of that last night. No balls and a strike to Sargent. The pitch high, ball 1. Bases loaded for El Dorado. Brady Sargent at the dish. He's the leading batting average guy for El Dorado, batting .333. Sargent hits it out to left field, and it'll be caught at the shy of the warning track. Tagging and coming in to score is Jarrett Coyne. So a sac fly for Sargent. He hit it well, but a good read by Urban McCulloch out there. And now 2 away for El Dorado. Jordan Anstandig had the big hit last night, a 2-out, 2 RBI single in the 2nd inning to tie the game at 3. First pitch to Anstandig is high. Sheets remains at second. Maddox Solomon at first. 1-0 Broncos. They shade Anstandig to go the other way. Runners on the move, and a good jump and a steal for Tanner Sheets. Solomon, that clearly was Tanner's decision there. Solomon remains at first. So a stolen base for Tanner Sheets. 2 balls and no strikes to Anstandig. The pitch lifted high on the infield. McNicholas takes charge, camps under it, and makes the catch. I'm wondering why Solomon didn't run. He was staying at first base. The Broncos score 1 time. 3 walks, a hit batter. So I guess a win for both. Broncos get a run, but boy, Great Bend has to feel pretty fortunate that 4 guys got on for free and only 1 scored. We head to the 2nd inning. 1-0 El Dorado. Inning number 2. Broncos lead 1-0 here in the top of the 2nd inning. Dylan Zenzel winds and deals, and that curveball in there a beauty, strike 1. I was looking back at our archive of the game last night, trying to find, there was 1 lightning strike out in left field. I had the camera pointed out there. It was pretty impressive. I couldn't find it. I wasn't patient enough to sit and watch No, just left field for 20 minutes, but I got to find it. There is strike 3, a very quick up at bat for Blaine Ray. Third strikeout for Dylan Zenzel. Zach Barone will come up. Barone, kid out of Lafayette, Colorado, goes to Cuesta College. Is that right? Cuesta College. California. Strike 1 to Barone. No balls and a strike. And this one looks like a broken bat. It is. Weekly grounded out to Anstandig. He'll throw to DeSimone to retire Barone. And 2 away. Watching Dylan Zenzel work, very similar, in my opinion, to Daniel Nelson. It's very, very efficient. Not a lot of moving parts. It's one quick step, boom, boom, and in. And Zenzel doing exactly what we saw Nelson last night do. Curveball in there, strike 1. So Zenzel really getting a handle of that curveball here. No balls and 1 strike. Broncos lead 1-0, top of the second. Fastball, miss, and it's 0-2. Swing and a miss there from Nolan Riley. Riley played a good third base last night for the Batcats. He's at first base tonight. And the 0-2. And going right after him is Zenzel, and that one fouled down the first base side out of play. Some of the youngsters, they brought their gloves. They're ready to go run out in the parking lot and get that baseball. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. In the turf, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nolan Riley from just down the road, Augusta, Kansas, goes to college in Great Bend at Barton County Community College. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Nolan Riley. And a little bit high, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wind blowing out to left field out of the south tonight, which is normal. It's always interesting when you see the wind blowing in or maybe to right field. We had a little bit of that last night. From 0-2 to 3-2 on Riley. And the payoff. And ripped down the right field line. Fair ball. That'll get up against the wall. Tracking it down is Toth. That'll be a 2-out double for Nolan Riley. And the first Great Bend hit this weekend. Nick Urban McCulloch will come up. Urban McCulloch out of my home state of Wisconsin. He's from Racine, Wisconsin. That's in the Milwaukee area. Goes to school at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. A 208 hitter on the season is Urban McCulloch. And a swing and a miss, strike 1. For Nolan Riley, that double, his 3rd double of the season, and he is tied for the team lead in doubles with Swanberg, who's not in the lineup tonight, played last night. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Urban McCulloch, 5 hits, 24 at bats. He's driven in 4. He's struck out 8 times. Their second leading stolen base guy with 4. Nick Urban McCulloch, an 0-2 count, and the pitch. And that one spoiled, fouled out of play. Sun shining. Well, last night we got down into the mid-70s. It was time to leave. It was, dare I say, a chill in the air. The 0-2 curveball, and that's nubbed towards the first base side. Zenzel's going to have to cover. DeSimone tosses it over, and sliding in safely is Urban McCulloch. That is a tough play right there. The lefty is falling off towards the third base side. DeSimone, I think, made the right play, but either way, the pitcher is going to have to run a long way. Nolan Riley advances to third. That is a base hit. So here's Thomas Alexander. The last 2 batters, Zenzel has gotten ahead 0-2, but hasn't been able to put them away. Thomas Alexander, right-handed batter, and the pitch hit towards short. Little Jim has it, and he'll go over to first and retire Alexander and the inning. Couple of hits for Great Bend, but no one comes across the dish. We go to the bottom of the second inning. El Dorado 1, Great Bend 0. Bottom of the second inning, and El Dorado will lead it off with Daniel DeSimone. He looks at strike one. Daniel DeSimone from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, 6'4", 228. Boy, that pitch really missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. DeSimone goes to Cowley County Community College down in Arkansas City. 1 ball, 1 strike, and that pitch sails outside, 2-1. Just a couple of games for DeSimone, kind of a late ad for El Dorado. 6 at-bats, 1 hit so far. And chops this one in the hole, and a long throw, not going to be able to make it. That was a McDonald Stadium infield turf single right there for Daniel DeSimone. Shortstop Reese Johnson thought about uncorking one. It might have been close, but boy, he's deep in the hole. That high hopper, his momentum's going towards third base anyway, so he just eats it, and it's an infield single. And here's Caleb Littlejim, and that pitch out of the zone, out of the catcher's area, and a wild pitch. I don't even need Gary to tell me that one. No chance there for the catcher, Schatz. So Littlejim with a runner in scoring position. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch high, ball 2. Caleb from Norman, Oklahoma, 6'3", 180, goes to Kansas State University. It says Norman. Little Axe. Three balls and no strikes. You know, we're trying to link these little gyms together. I mean, so it's not Norman, it's Little Axe. So Little Jim from Little Axe. DeSimone, boy, he was caught off the base. And Great Bend was a little late in having anyone cover. And DeSimone is back in. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, and with the issues that Perry's having right now, you don't want to give him any free outs on the base pads. Here's the 3-0, and Caleb taking all the way, and that's in there for strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike. Pete Carvalho waits on deck for El Dorado. The Broncos lead 1-0. And the pitch, and that one's low, ball 4. Early traffic on the base paths for El Dorado. They had them loaded in the first inning. Could only score 1. The first 2 reach here in the second inning. Action still heating up down in the Great Bend bullpen. Here's Pete Carvalho and Alma Scott from Canton, Michigan. Corners are in for Great Bend, expecting a bunt. And Carvalho didn't offer at it. 1 ball and no strikes. And again, you kind of see that looking to bunt for a hit almost there. If he's going to bunt it, he wants to bunt it towards third. Here's the 1-0. And it's 2-0. And maybe with Perry's issues, they may take that bunt off. Roger Ward's coming out, and he has seen enough. So in the middle of the count, they're going to make a change, which should then lend me to some questions. Does Pete Carvalho still belong to Perry, or will the incoming pitcher inherit him? We'll find out. Tell you about the new pitcher in a moment. 1-0 El Dorado. This is Bronco Baseball on YouTube. So new pitcher for Great Bend, and his name is Neil Lemons. Young man from Wichita, goes to Barton County Community College, again in Great Bend. And Gary, our expert statistician, says that with a 2-0 count, if Lemons throws 2 more out of the zone, the walk will be credited to Perry. Anything else, Lemons will get the credit for. 2 balls and no strikes. And now interesting here for Carvalho. Do you square around? Runners at first and second for El Dorado. The pitch inside, ball 3. Lemons on the season. This is his 5th game. He has 1 start. He's gone 8 2/3 inning, given up 4 earned runs. So an ERA just a little north of 4 right now. Here's the 3-0, and that caught the corner, 3-1. Lemons likes to put the ball in play. 4 walks, 4 strikeouts in nearly 9 innings of work. And he comes in with a record of 0-1. And that pitch in there, strike 2. Carvalho was ready to toss the bat, and the umpire says, well, not so fast. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Pete Carvalho. Lemons set at the hip, ready to deal. And the pitch. Carvalho fouls it off. So with runners on base and this batter still kind of belonging to Perry. Can't give you the final numbers on Jonathan Perry, the starter for Great Bend, just yet. Full count, nobody out for El Dorado. And the pitch, Carvalho, another good swing, fouled it out of play again. Pete Carvalho batting at 200 on the season for El Dorado. 8 for 40. And the 3-2 out of the zone, ball 4. So Perry will get that walk. 5 walks, and now I can make my little line indicating new pitcher, I guess. Bases loaded, and here's Austin Toth, who was hit by, I think it was the first pitch from Jonathan Perry. He was caught stealing before the walk to Coyne, before the walk to Sheets, and before the walk to Solomon. Curveball, a beauty in there for strike 1 to Austin Toth. Toth, 21 at-bats coming into play tonight, 6 hits, a .286 average. He's 4 for 4 on steals this year. Here's the pitch. That one's in the turf. Nice stop by Schatz, and it's 1-1. Toth has scored 3 times and driven in 3, and all his 6 hits have been singles so far this season. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch and nubbed foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Appreciate all the emails last night and got some new followers on Twitter. Fun emails too. Gary and I might have been maybe 2 of the last people out of here. We had to, even though we knew there was no chance of the game being resumed, we hung out here just in case. Well, the most action we saw was a Great Bend Batcat running out in the teeth of the storm. Toth lifts this one out into left field, drifting back. Urban McCulloch, he's got the catch. Tagging is D. Simone, and Little Jim thought about tagging to third, but a good job again by Urban McCulloch. He makes the catch, a sacrifice fly for Austin Toth. And again, it's a sacrifice out to left field. So D. Simone scores. Jarrett Coyne stands in. Caleb Littlejim at second, Pete Carvalho at first. 1 away for El Dorado. The Broncos lead 2-0. And the pitch to Coyne, that's in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike. Coyne, not a great swing there. He was fooled. It's 0-2. Yeah, looking at the National Weather Service, they say severe weather possible Sunday afternoon into the overnight hours. The greatest threat west of I-35. We are east of I-35. Still could have to battle raindrops if the game goes off at 7 o'clock as scheduled. That pitch high. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jarrett Coyne. The 1-2. And that one's low, 2-2. Jarrett Coyne with 46 at-bats this summer. He's got 12 hits. He has driven in 5, scored 4. All 12 hits have been single for Jarrett. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 away for El Dorado. And the pitch, and Coyne fooled a bit, but able to hang in there and slap that foul. I'm sure Michelle Coyne watching and listening. Thank you, Rick and James, for letting me know that everything sounds all right. And Coyne lifts this to shallow right field. Coming in, Barone, and he dropped the ball. And now they'll look to second to try to get the runner out. They don't there. Now coming around to third is Little Jim. That ball dropped to third. Now advancing to third is Carvalho. What a comedy of errors right there. Jarrett Coyne's got to get a hit. That's got to be a hit. So an error. So it'll be a hit for Coyne, a base hit. I don't know an RBI though, because the runners at first and second weren't going to score. They were assuming on the diet they had to play it safe. They were only going 1 base, but then the throwing error allowed them to score. So Carvalho goes to third. Little Jim scored. And there's a foul ball by Tanner Sheets as we try to figure all of that out. And the air, I guess, would go on the right fielder on the throw. On the throw. So Little Jim scores on an E9. And then the third baseman, Alexander, had a shot at getting maybe Little Jim at home, but he couldn't quite gather that errant throw. How about that? 1 ball and 1 strike to Tanner Sheets. Broncos lead 3-0. And Sheets fooled there, 1-2. Now, Rick Allen, I'm going to have to address this to Gary. He says if 2 balls at time of change, batter belongs to new pitcher. If 3 balls at time of change, outgoing pitcher is charged. Gary loves his stats. Sheets hits this one into the hole, a base hit out into the outfield. Coyne will move to third. Sheets with a wide turn on his way to second. Sheets is going to be safe. That is some heady base running by Tanner Sheets. I'm guessing a single, and he advances on the throw, right? A single for Sheets. You could see the way Tanner rounded first, and it was kind of a lob throw in. Coyne had no intention of trying to score. But Tanner Sheets saw kind of a lackadaisical throw from left field to home, or to third, I should say, and he took off and got to second. Carvalho scores. Sheets gets an RBI on the single, and then a good hustle to second base. 4-0 El Dorado. Pitch to Maddox Solomon is high. 3 hits for the Broncos, all in this inning, and now Schatz will go talk to Neil Lemons. Lemons inherited a bit of a mess, runners at first and second, and a 2-0 count on Pete Carvalho. He induced a sacrifice fly that was hit well by Austin Toth, but now Coyne and Sheets have come up with singles. And the pitch, and Solomon hits it onto right center field. That'll split him. Well, the right fielder's got it. Urban McCall, or excuse me, that's Barone, but no chance to get Sheets. And it's a 2 RBI single for Maddox Solomon. Well, he scalded that one into right center field. So here's Brady Sargent. Oh, I already gave Maddox Solomon second. I gave him a double. That was a single. He's at first. We just won't put my scorecard on camera. And now another pitcher getting warm for Great Bend. First pitch to Sargent. Looked like a changeup in there for strike 1. 5 have scored for El Dorado here in the second. 6-0 Broncos. And the pitch, Sargent, good eye, watches it close on the inside. It's 1-1. Four hits, yes, 4 hits is correct. All singles. And Sargent taps this one foul. It'll spin and remain foul. It's interesting seeing with a runner at first, Great Bend's second baseman, Austin McNicholas, plays really close to second. Of course, with the first baseman, Riley, holding the runner on, there is a gaping hole on the right side. And the pitch, Sargent fouls it off. And even out in right field, Barone shading more towards center. There's room down the right field line. Brady Sargent with a 1-2 count. 1 away for the Broncos. Their only out was a productive out. It scored a run. And the 1-2, and Sargent somehow able to foul that one off. Now, Brady came up here last night. He's a big dude. Yeah, I mean, from up here, he looks big. Don't get me wrong. But when he came up here, I was like, dude, whatever you want. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They set up on the outside, and a swing and a miss, and a strikeout for Lemons. And there's 2 away. And the 9th batter of the inning is Jordan Anstandig. Okay, now Rick Allen, only if batter walks. Any other time batter reaches base, the relief pitcher is charged. Yeah, that's what we thought. So that walk does go to Perry. Always fun talking baseball stats. I get intrigued. talking stats here with Gary. Anstandig got under this one, lifts it out into right center field, and it looks like Ray will make the catch and retire the Broncos in the second, but not before. El Dorado scores 5 times on 4 hits, 1 error, 1 left. We go to the third inning. El Dorado 6, Great Bend 0. So a 6-0 Bronco lead. And the leadoff batter, Reese Johnson. Did that hit off his bat? Reese got hit by the first pitch from Dylan Zenzel tonight. And that one hit off his bat as he was trying to stay out of the way of it. No balls and a strike. And the pitch fouled right at the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. Dylan Zenzel looking up at a 6-0 lead for his team. The 0-2 pitch, and just missed at Zenzel. 1 ball and 2 strikes for the Great Bend shortstop, Reese Johnson. The pitch. That one slides outside to 2. Two balls and 2 strikes here to Reese Johnson. He was hit by a pitch, stole a base, and now he's hit again. Zenzel thought he leaned into it. So Reese Johnson with 2 HBPs. It'd be fun to get Daniel Nelson on the headset and get his opinion of the batters hit last night. But I don't have a delay on my thing, so I don't know if that would be proper. First pitch to Austin McNicholas out of the zone for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. And a throw over to first, and Reese Johnson's back. Zenzel on the season, 12 and a third or 13 innings of work. Foul ball there, 1-1. 5.11 ERA coming in, 13 runs given up, 7 earned. Given up 14 hits. And the throw from Zenzel fouled out of play. Is Gabe Littlejim tomorrow night's starter? But you know what? I mean, Daniel had a good outing after hanging out here with us. I think tomorrow night, after just sitting up here in the press box with Jimmy, Gary, and I, you'll have the comfort of knowing that we're behind you 100%. McNicholas lifts one out into shallow center field for a base hit. So runners at first and second. And Gavin Johnson will stand in. He grounded out to Daniel DeSimone at first base his first time. Any Great Bend fans out there, we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to chat on the YouTube chat there if you're watching there. Here's a pitch from Zenzel. You can also email me. My email address here, CADEN, cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. No balls and a strike to Gavin Johnson. Runners at first and second. And that one out of the zone, ball one. Ben Smith and Connor Peterson making their way down to the El Dorado bullpen. 1-1 pitch to Gavin Johnson, and that one's off the end of the bat, foul. So a ball and 2 strikes. Lefty on lefty here, and the pitch from Zenzel hit out into center field. Carvalho going back, still going back. That's up against the wall. Carvalho takes it off the wall, and the runners really had to wait and see if that was going to be caught. That good carry on that one, and it's a long single for Gavin Johnson. So the first 3 have reached for Great Bend here in the third. Now they've got something brewing with the catcher, Andrew Schatz, coming up. Virginia Commonwealth player, Andrew Schatz. A 200 hitter on the season. Schatz has driven in 7. He struck out his first time. And the pitch is a little bit above the letters, 1 ball and no strikes. Reese Johnson at third, Austin McNicholas at second, Gavin Johnson at first. And the 1-0, and that one's in there for strike 1. Gabe, Daniel, the curveball tonight for Zenzel, what do you think? It seems like it's a little loopy. Is that good, though? It looks like the hitters are a little off on it. A little loopy. There's a pitch fouled out of play. Now, the big loop, isn't that good if you get it up there and then it sharply breaks down? Or needed to look. And he doesn't have that working. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I like when pitchers are up here, Gary. I get their info. You know, these guys know what they're talking about. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, fastball, low, 2-2. What's the array of pitches we have from Dylan tonight, Gabe? Curveball, fastball, changeup. The 3 essentials. 2-2. And on the corner, strike 3, looking a big pitch for Dylan Zenzel. So 1 away. And now the Broncos can get out of this mess with a infield ground ball, maybe. Blaine Ray coming in. He's 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout. Ray hitting .357 on the season. 42 at-bats, 15 hits. He has driven in 12. He's the leading RBI guy, and this one's lifted out into center field. Carvalho's got it. I'm guessing this throw is heading to third, though. Carvalho with the catch and the throw. Little Jim probably didn't have him anyway. 2 runners tag and the first run aboard for Great Bend. Sacrifice fly for Blaine Ray. Zach Barone coming up. Runners at first and third. Reese Johnson scores on that sacrifice fly, and it's 6-1 El Dorado. And a throw over to first. Tell you what, if Dylan Zenzel can somehow get Zach Barone out, I think any pitcher, look, I'm going to look over at Daniel Nelson. If the bases are loaded, no outs, and you give up 1 run, you feel like that's a win, don't you? Swing and a miss, strike 1. Just 1. course, you're probably so mad the bases are loaded with no outs. No balls and a strike on Barone, the pitch. And that one's on to right center field. That'll score one, maybe two. Running hard is Gavin Johnson. The right fielder, Toth, has it. Throws it to Little Jim and quickly home. Sargent has it, and they hold up Gavin Johnson at third. But it's an RBI double for Zach Barone. So McNicholas scores. And here's Nolan Riley. Riley doubled his last time. 6-2 El Dorado. First pitch misses the zone, strike one. This turns out to be a pretty big at bat here. A single, and we've got a 6-4 game, more than likely. And out, and the Broncos still have a 4-run lead. Here's the 1-0, and that one's in there for strike one. Nolan Riley, a .353 hitter, 12 for 34. 8 runs driven in, just 4 strikeouts for Riley. And this one's fouled out of play, and Zenzel ahead 1-2. 6-2 El Dorado, top of the third inning from McDonald Stadium. And the pitch, Riley able to just get some wood on it, hits it up the middle. That will score 2. So some bad luck for Zenzel. He threw a pretty good pitch there, but a nice job with the lumber by Nolan Riley. 2 RBI single. And we have a 6-4 game. Nick Urban McCulloch will come up. Hitting .208 coming into play tonight. And the pitch from Zenzel in there for strike one. Boy, he had 2 strikes on the batter, but Riley just able to get some wood on that, hit it in the perfect spot. A seeing eye single right up the middle. Urban McCulloch singled his last time. Here's the 0-1. Sargent able to gobble that one up in the turf. 1 ball and 1 strike. So after a long bottom of the second inning where 9 Broncos came to the plate, this is the 8th Batcat up here in the third. Low and in, 2-1. Dylan Zenzel's got his sign from Brady Sargent, the 2-1 pitch. And this one's nubbed. It'll stay foul, 2-2. So Hayes 7-3, a half-game lead on Liberal at 10-5. Derby is 8-5. El Dorado just 2.5 back at 6-7. Dodge City is 5-6. Great Bend now 4-9. Great Bend has been the hard luck team this year. A lot of 1-run losses for the Batcats, including last night in a rain-shortened 6-inning affair. Here's the 2-2 swing and a miss. Strike 3. Great Bend able to strike for 4 runs on 4 hits, right? 3 hits, 4 hits. 4 runs on 4 hits. And we head to the bottom of the third inning, 6-4 El Dorado. Bottom of the third inning, and the Great Bend Batcats have made it a game, 6-4. The inning that could have been for Dylan Zenzel, of the 8 batters that came to the plate, he had a 2-strike count on 6 of them. Credit Great Bend for putting it in play. DeSimone fouls off the first offering. Zenzel had thrown 31 pitches in 2 innings, and he threw 30 pitches in the third, so he's at 61. No balls and a strike to DeSimone. His infield single started a 5-run second inning for El Dorado. All 9 batted in the second, so here's Daniel again in the third batting, and that pitch outside 2-1. Neil Lemons working quickly for Great Bend. And it looks like the Broncos are going to get some activity in their bullpen. DeSimone sees this one bounce in, and it's 3-1. Ben Smith is going to go warm up for El Dorado. 3 balls and a strike to DeSimone. That one low, ball 4. Leadoff walk. And here's Caleb Littlejim. He walked and then scored on an errant throw by the right fielder. So it's tough for the right fielder, Barone. He made a diving effort on a ball hit by Pete Carvalho, and he had it in his glove, but it came out. The runners, Caleb had to hold, figuring it could be caught, and then was able to move on ahead. Foul ball there. No balls and 2 strikes here on Caleb Littlejim. And the 0-2, Littlejim, boy, he had his eye on that all the way in and able to hold up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Gabe Littlejim's pitches tomorrow. Is it fun to have Caleb at short when you're pitching? Yeah. You like your brother. All right, love it. That's good. Brotherly love. Sibling love. It's good. 1 ball and 2 strikes. DeSimone with a pretty healthy lead over at first. Not going. That one in the turf. DeSimone saw it bounce. He had a good lead, good secondary lead, and is down to second base. Now on the throw into center field, going for third, and he's safe. That one got past third baseman. DeSimone charging for home, and he is safe. So a pass. So the throw into center field, that's got 2 errors. So a stolen base, then an E2 on the trip to third, and then an E8, and now a hit out into left field by Littlejim to the wall, off the top of the wall. And Littlejim will trot his way to second base with a stand-up double. He just missed a 4-bagger. So the first error is on the catcher with the throw to center field. The second error is on the center fielder. And how about DeSimone? It all started with a good secondary lead. That's why I wasn't sure if it was a stolen base, because that ball was in the turf. He took off. So 7-4 El Dorado. And Pete Carvalho at the plate, and he took a mighty whack, fouled that one out of play. Pete walked and scored in the second inning. Well, a good answer here for El Dorado after Great Bend scored 4 times in the top of the inning. And Carvalho looked like he did swing. He did. Now Littlejim trying to get to third. It looked like a pass ball, maybe. He's safe at third. Wild pitch. 3 errors already on Great Bend here tonight. Littlejim at third with no one out. Carvalho staring at an 0-2 count. And the pitch. Carvalho, boy, he had another good cut, but he fouled it off. Take a look at emails in a moment here. Carvalho coming in tonight with a 200 batting average, 1 RBI. He's got one waiting for him out there at third, and Caleb Littlejim. And that pitch high. Boy, Caleb really put a charge in that one. That hit right near, there's a yellow strip right along the top of the wall and just on the facing. It hit just below it. Carvalho sits back and waits on it, shoots it out into left center field, makes the turn. He's going for second, and he's safe. Carvalho. And there has been some aggressive base running. That is a hustle double right there for Pete Carvalho and an RBI. And it's 8-4 El Dorado. So the second RBI of the season for Pete Carvalho. Here's Austin Toth. And a shot down the third base side, a whisker foul for Austin Toth. And my first email of the night, and it's from a Great Bend Batcat parent, and Dave Lanterman watching from Great Bend. Dave, nice to have you tuned in. Fun to, I always pride myself. I, of course, work for the Broncos, but I like just watching good baseball, and so I'm for both teams out here. Pitch low, ball one. Always obviously know El Dorado better. But you're welcome for the live stream, Dave. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. And we were watching our radar last night. It looked like a lot of rain in Great Bend last night. I made the comment during the game that if last night's game would have been in Great Bend, I don't think they would have gotten very far in it. At least we got 6 innings in here. 2-strike pitch coming to Austin Toth from Lemons. And it's this one's hit out into center field, a soft line drive coming in, and the catch is made by Ray. And he throws it in, and no advance for Carvalho. So the first out of the inning, Toth flies out to center, and that'll bring up Jarrett Coyne. We're in inning number 3. The Broncos have turned their order around twice already. These are the third times to the plate for Austin Toth, and now for Jarrett Coyne. 8-4 El Dorado. And Coyne looks at that pitch outside 1-0, and Schatz wants to go out and have a talk. We'll be on the air, weather permitting. Again, supposed to be some weather rolling in tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Of course, it's always, you know, as a Kansan, you want rain. We need rain. But we don't want it to disrupt our ball games. Is there any way the rain could just come around midnight or so? Rain overnight. Let these guys play during the day. 1 ball and no strikes to Coyne. And missing the corner, 2-0. Jarrett Coyne, 1 for 1 tonight. He has scored twice. He walked and scored in the first, singled and scored in the second. 2-0 count for Jarrett Coyne out of Alma College. Curveball drops in there, a beauty by Lemons. It's 2-1. And again, 8-4. You think back, that 2-out, 2-strike single by Nolan Riley. Really important. It got the Batcats to within 2. They're down 4 now, but it could have been a lot worse without that. Coyne, good eye, and it's 3-1. If Riley doesn't come up with that 2 RBI single, you're looking at an 8-2 score with a runner at second, 1 out for El Dorado, looking to try to put away Great Bend, although it's still rather early. We're only in the bottom of the 3rd inning. A lot has happened in 2.5 innings. 3 balls, 1 strike. And Coyne fouls this one out of play. Daniel DeSimone walked, stole second, advanced to third on a throwing error by the catcher. And then the center fielder, Ray, had an errant throw that got past the third baseman, Alexander, that allowed DeSimone to score. Then Little Jim with a double, followed by a Carvalho double. Coyne into the hole, diving effort off the glove, and now a play at third, safe. What a great effort by Reese Johnson A little bit of a late decision by Pete Carvalho to go there. Johnson was able to deflect the ball and keep it near him. Then Carvalho decided to go, and that was a close play at third. That'll be a base hit for Jarrett Coyne. And Roger Ward wants a new pitcher. Broncos with runners on the corners, 1 out. New pitcher coming in for the Batcats. We're back in a moment. 8-4 El Dorado on YouTube. So a new pitcher for the Batcats, and Roger Ward having to use a lot of arms here. This is the third pitcher. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Neil Lemons goes an inning and a third. Gave up 6 hits, walked 1, struck out 1. And the 2 runners on base are his responsibility. Tanner Sheets fouls off the first offering from number 32, Chandler Gant, out of Nashville, Tennessee. Goes to Southwest Tennessee Community College. He's a Nashville cat. The pitch to Sheets high, 1 ball and 1 strike. So Gant on the season, this is his 4th game, 4 innings of work, 4 hits, 2 runs earned, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Pitch a little bit out of the zone, 2-1. Gant has he has not been in a decision yet, and his ERA around 4.5. 2 balls and a strike. Carvalho at third, Coyne at first. Sheets at the plate. Tanner Sheets, 1 for 1, a run scored, and an RBI. And Sheets lifts this one high, shallow center. Urban McCulloch coming in. He makes the catch, and tagging is Carvalho. The throw home is right on the money, and a catch him and throw him out double play by Great Ben. That just didn't look deep enough. Broncos have been aggressive tonight. That time it bit them. El Dorado scores twice. They had 3 hits. We head to the 4th inning, 8-4 El Dorado. Well, a good job for Chandler Gant. He comes in a little bit of a mess. Runners at first and third, one out, but induces a fly ball to left field and a strong strike thrown by Urban McCulloch. And they had Carvalho out by a few steps. El Dorado has scored in every inning. And they lead it 8-4 in a first pitch strike to Thomas Alexander. Alexander grounded out to Caleb Littlejim at shortstop his first time. Here's the 0-1. And that one in there for strike two. There's that loopy curve again. And again, Zenzel gets 2 strikes on a hitter. And this time he's able to put Alexander away with a strike. So 1 away, and back to the top of the order for Great Bend. Here we are in the 4th, and this is their 3rd time now coming to the dish. Both teams have been walking guys up to the dish. And a bunt on the third base side, and there's no way you're going to get him there. Perfect bunt by Reese Johnson. Sheets coming in was trying to barehand it. Even if he barehands that, there is no way. I looked down the line, and I was hoping if he did barehand it, as a Bronco fan, don't throw it because there was no chance. Here's McNicholas. 1 away. McNicholas looks at ball 1. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Singled and scored in the 4-run 3rd inning for Great Bend. 1 away, top of the 4th inning. 8-4 El Dorado. And the pitch, fastball high, 2-0. McNicholas coming into play tonight with a .255 batting average, 12 for 47. And took a look at the umpire. He says no, ball 3, 3-0. McNicholas has had a problem with the strikeouts this year. 15 strikeouts in 47 at bats. But he's way ahead here, 3-0. Looks at strike 1, taking all the way. Three balls and a strike. And Zenzel in the zone, fouled off by McNicholas. It's 3-2. It's interesting when you just look at the standings in the Jayhawk League. Of course, we have 7 teams in the league. We used to have 8. Oklahoma City is still on there. They're playing everybody, but they're not in the league. But just seeing there's buys, and we've had some rainouts, and that pitch nowhere close, and a walk to McNicholas. But you have Liberal, who's played 15 games, and then you have the Hayes Larks, who've played 10. El Dorado, 13 games. Derby, 13 games. Dodge City, 11. Hayesville, 11. Great Bend, 13. But along with the schedule rubric, one team will get a couple of days off when the other 6 are playing. Great Bend down 8-4, but runners at first and second with 1 out. And here's Gavin Johnson. Singled and scored in the 3rd. The pitch from Zenzel high, and it's ball 1. Broncos last night trailed 3-0, you might remember, going into the bottom of the 2nd inning. Scored 3 times there, 1 in the 4th, and it held up. Daniel Nelson threw a gem for El Dorado. There's a broken bat foul. He chucked that bat. You know that probably stung. So he goes to his bag, and of course in the big leagues, they've got bat boys running out all their bats. The players just stay there, but here in this league, you have to go find your own bat. Gavin Johnson chucking a shard of wood back to the dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gavin caught last night. He's DHing here tonight. And the slow curve just missed, 2-1. Great Bend in their second season here in the Jayhawk League. Last year made it all the way to the national tournament. Gavin Johnson turned on one, hit it hard, but fouled on the right side. 2-2. Liberal won our league last year. Their first title since 99. They've had good teams every year. That's hard to believe. Their first title since 99. But every year they're in the top half of the league, it seems like. You never see Liberal down. Liberal and Hayes always seem to be right up there. The Broncos, perennial powers as well. Johnson fouls off the 3-2 pitch there. Hayesville, 2 years ago, was really good. Last year, a little bit down and struggling out of the gate this year at 3-8. Another full count pitch. And off balance, this one floating towards the Bronco dugout. Sheets coming in with a dive. Tried to make the catch. His spikes went into the netting that protects the dugout. He's unable to make the catch. And boy, great effort by Tanner Sheets. Slowed a little bit right now. He's trying to shake it out. The right leg. He went into a feet first slide. Tried to backhand that ball. But he was coming so hard, he slid right into the netting and the concrete there. It remains 3-2 on Gavin Johnson. Big hitter here with a 3-2 count for both teams. Here's the pitch from Zenzel. Fastball on the corner, strike 3. We went soft on him on the previous pitch. He went hard there, and he got the strikeout. 6 strikeouts so far for Dylan Zenzel. And here's Andrew Schatz, who has struck out twice tonight. Once swinging, once looking. First offering is high, ball 1. The 1-0 from Zenzel. That's low, ball 2. Looks like Toby Reuter back tonight. Manager for the Broncos, now 3-0 here on Schatz. Doug Bell, general manager, was coaching first base last night for El Dorado. The 3-0 pitch, that's not close. 4 in a row, and Schatz will walk down to first. So here's Blaine Ray. And the Broncos are going to make a change here. Ben Smith, I think, is going to be the new Bronco pitcher. We'll tell you in a moment. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Great Bend, 8-4 Broncos. The new pitcher for El Dorado is Ben Smith, 6'2", 195. Daniel Nelson says 6 foot 290, but I think he's off. He's calling Ben Smith a deuce or a deuce and a half. I mean, come on. Where's the love? Base is loaded for Ben Smith as he deals with Blaine Ray. This one's hit up the middle, takes a hop. Little Jim has it, will take it himself. One pitch, and Smith is out of the jam. No runs on a hit. 3 are left. We head to the bottom of the fourth. 8-4 El Dorado. Maddox Solomon will lead it off for El Dorado. So both managers look pretty smart here as Ben Smith comes in, one pitch, and gets a ground ball out to get out of a bases loaded jam. Chandler Gant came in last inning and got a fly out, throw out double play to end a Bronco threat. Maddox Solomon, 2 RBI single in the second inning. A walk in the first. He's 1 for 1. He's at a 1-1 count here and now 2-1. Chandler Gant, right-handed pitcher, and that's out of the zone, 3-1. Solomon hitting .268 on the season. 11 for 41 coming into play tonight. 2 long balls. And strike 2 call. A little bit of a delayed call there. Now a full count here to Solomon. Solomon, Sargent, and Anstandig against Gant. And Solomon down the right field side, drifting back is Barone, and he makes a nice catch just in fair territory. So here's Brady Sargent. Brady Sargent, 6'3", 230 out of Utah Valley State. One away for El Dorado here. Bottom of the fourth inning, and strike 1 called. That out of Solomon is the first time tonight that Great Bend has gotten the leadoff batter out for El Dorado. Sargent fouls it off, and it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch in the turf. 1-2. Thank you for the comment from JMICH, J Mick. A ball and 2 strikes on Sargent and the pitch. Sargent fouls it off. Look out there in the dugout. It bounces against the netting and hugs up against the fence on the third base side. Still 1-2 on Sargent. He's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly. Fouls this one off. Brady, a sacrifice fly in the first inning, plated the only run for El Dorado in that first inning. Two and two now to Sargent. El Dorado in that first inning, you might remember, Toth led off the game getting hit by a pitch, but then was thrown out trying to steal second. Coyne, Sheets, and Solomon all walked. Sargent then with a sac fly, and Anstandig popped out. Two balls and 2 strikes. And Brady got on this one, lifts it out into center field. Ray coming in now, and that's going to land in front of him. And that'll be a base hit for Brady Sargent. I don't know if Ray Ray didn't get a great read there. He took 2 steps back to start, and then really Urban McCulloch had the best read of that, but he had to come a long way and made a dive, but didn't get there. So a 1-out single will bring up Jordan Anstandig. Jordan with 2 flyouts. Fouls off the first offering. So 0-1 here to Anstandig. DeSimone waits on deck. And that pitch dives down a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Anstandig with a 200 batting average coming in. Bounces this one towards first. They look at second. Now covering nicely is Gant. And he got the base to get Anstandig. Going down to second is Brady Sargent. So 3-1 on the putout. 2 away and Daniel DeSimone up there. Daniel is 1 for 1. He has scored twice. His good base running scored the second time. He walked, stole second, advanced to third on an error, advanced home on an error on the same play. And he looks at a fastball for strike 1. Lights are illuminated here at McDonald's Stadium. And the 0-1 pitch. DeSimone fights it off. A slow roller towards third. Alexander's got it. Throw to first. Bounces. And it'll be a base hit. Tough play for Alexander. Really had to unload in a hurry. And the Broncos will get a hit. Moving over to third is Sargent. And here's Caleb Little Jim. Little Jim very nearly had a home run. His last time, high off the left field wall, he hit it. He has scored twice tonight. Here's the 0-1 to Little Jim. Outside, ball 1. 1-0 pitch. Inside, 2-0. Pete Carvalho waiting on deck for El Dorado. 8-4 Broncos here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Chandler Gant, the third pitcher for Great Bend tonight. And Little Jim shoots it into center field for a base hit. Trying to go first to third is DeSimone. Here's the throw, and it hit DeSimone in the back, or in the arm, it looks like. And hustling to second is Little Jim. He'll have a single, an RBI, and he advances to second on the throw. Boy, 2-out RBIs are just gold. El Dorado in the second inning was 4 for 5 batting with runners in scoring position. And it's 9-4 El Dorado. Pete Carvalho, the center fielder, stands in. He had a hustling double his second time, walked and scored the first time. Pete was gunned down at home plate on that catch by Urban McCulloch. First pitch outside, ball 1. 9, 10, and 0 for El Dorado. 4, 7, and 3 for Great Bend. And a late swing fouled out of play by Carvalho. Pete, another RBI opportunity. And more aggressive base running. DeSimone going first to third on that play was a gamble. And for the most part, the gambles have worked for El Dorado tonight. Here's a snap throw down to third. That pitch called a strike on Carvalho. Looked low. 1 and 2. A little bit of a late call, too. So a ball and 2 strikes now on Pete. And the pitch from Gant is low, I think. Ball 2. 2 and 2. Sometimes I get ahead of myself thinking I know what they're going to call. Here's the 2-2. And low, ball 3. So a full count on Pete Carvalho. Austin Toth waits on deck. Here's the 3-2. Carvalho slaps this foul down the third base side. It ricochets into left field. And we'll do the 3-2 again. And Carvalho fouls it off. Pete, in 40 at-bats, has struck out 9 times. Hanging in there, fouling off a couple of pitches here. Now 3-2 again from Gant. And low, ball 4. Good at bat for Pete Carvalho. And here's Austin Toth. Austin is 0 for 1 officially. This is his fourth time to the plate in 4 innings. Hit by pitch in the first, a sacrifice RBI, sacrifice fly in the second inning, and flied out to center field in the third. Toth hits this one hard out to center, but Blaine Ray has a beat on it and makes the catch. And the Broncos leave them loaded. They score 1 time. We head to the 5th inning. El Dorado 9, Great Bend 4. Top of the 5th inning, Zach Barone leads it off here for El Dorado, or for Great Bend, I should say, and he looks at ball 1 from Ben Smith. Ben Smith from Arkansas, Monticello, hometown of Shirley, Arkansas, and this one lifted out into left field, left center field, and Carvalho comes over from center field to make the catch and the first out. Ben Smith has a unique delivery. It almost looks like as his, where you expect the right arm to, he unloads it just a little bit quicker than when the arm comes around. It almost looks like he's throwing it from the side. It just all of a sudden comes out of there. He hides it pretty well. 1 ball and no strikes here to Nolan Riley. Riley's 2 for 2 tonight with 2 RBIs, a double in the second and a 2 RBI single in the third. That hit in the 3rd inning. He had 2 strikes. He fought off a tough pitch by Zenzel and was able to get it just through the infield, right up the middle. A ball and a strike. What was that? That was a splitter? Boy, nothing. It just looked like it floated in there. 1 and 2, and another one, and out to left field. Jarrett Coyne drifts back and makes the catch for the second out. 2 away, and here's Nick Urban McCulloch. We have not had a 1-2-3 inning yet tonight. 2 outs for Great Bend here in the 5th. Toby Reuter coached Nolan Riley, huh? At Augusta. No balls and a strike to Urban McCulloch. He's 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. And a swing and a miss. Ben Smith that time had the delayed high leg kick there, almost paused. And now he quick pitches it, and this one's hit into the foul territory. No one's going to run this one down, although great effort by DeSimone and by Anstandig and by Toth. Almost Johnny Cueto-like there. The first one was a delay kind of in mid-stride, and then that time it was kind of a quick pitch. Ben was ready to fire in another pitch as his defenders were still in foul territory. Smith on the season coming into play with a 6.75 ERA. That pitch out of the zone, 1 and 2. Just a couple of innings of work for Smith so far on the summer. And the 1-2 pitch drops in there for strike 3. What an inning for Ben Smith. A clean 5th. Our first 1-2-3 inning of the night. We're halfway through. El Dorado 9, Great Bend 4. Jarrett Coyne, the Alma Scot, will stand in to lead it off for El Dorado here in the 5th against Chandler Gant. 9-4 El Dorado. And Coyne looks at ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Coyne hits it hard to third, gloved over there by Alexander. Strong throw to first, and Coyne is retired. First time tonight, Jarrett is not on the base paths. Tanner Sheets will stand in. Tanner tonight, 1 for 2 with a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. And he looks at ball 1. And now 2-0 as that pitch is high. Swing and a miss. Good cut there by Sheets, but he missed. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out for El Dorado here in the bottom of the 5th. Sheets hits it to third. Alexander, a little bit of a tricky hop. He's got it. And another good throw over to first, and Sheets is retired. So 2 away. Maddox Solomon standing in. He's 1 for 2 with 2 runs batted in. And Solomon, first pitch swinging, fouls it out of play. El Dorado scored 1 in the first, 5 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth. The 0-1 from Gant, low, 1-1. Gant fires fastball in there, 1-2. Maddox Solomon with 2 home runs on the season. And Solomon a swing and a miss. So the Broncos got their first 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 5th, and Great Bend gets their first 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 5th. Let's move to the 6th inning. El Dorado 9, Great Bend 4. Thomas Alexander, who was busy in the bottom of the 5th inning with 2 putouts, stands in to lead off here in the top of the 6th for Great Bend. 9-4 El Dorado. Ben Smith out there again and throws a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Alexander. He's 0 for 2 tonight. A ground out to short and a strikeout. Pitch low, 2-1. This one's hit out to short. Little Jim coming in, gloves it. Now the throw strong over to first, and Alexander's out. First out recorded here in the 6th. Reese Johnson comes up. Reese hit by a pitch twice tonight. Scored in the 3rd, singled in the 4th. 1 for 1 officially. Reese also has a stolen base tonight. Left-handed batter, Reese Johnson. And the first pitch stays a little bit high. Reese Johnson from Austin, Texas. Goes to Sam Houston State University. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Johnson, 271 coming in tonight. And that pitch dives a little bit in. 2-1. Two-one pitch outside, ball 3. Three-one pitch to Reese Johnson. And that hit him. 3rd time tonight, Reese Johnson has WAR 1. Austin McNicholas comes up. He's 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And this one hit to 3rd. Sheets has it over to Anstandig for 1 and late on the throw to 1st. So McNicholas reaches on a fielder's choice. 2 away for Great Bend. And Gavin Johnson stands in. We just got word. Tomorrow's game will be a 3 o'clock start tomorrow. 3 o'clock Central Time start tomorrow. El Dorado and Great Bend, as they want to get the game in before any rain gets in. And again, what's really difficult is this is the only time, of course, Great Bend comes to El Dorado. And you really want to get it in. You don't want to have a rain out and force them to drive in for one game at another time during the season. There aren't a lot of open dates. So, you would, if it got rained out, the Broncos already lost 1 home game with Dodge City. They'll have to play 4 in Dodge at the end of the season. Smith has gone 3-0 here on Gavin Johnson. So a 3 o'clock start tomorrow. 3-0 pitch from Smith. That misses, and a 4-pitch walk to Gavin Johnson. 9-4 El Dorado, 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning. And here's Andrew Schatz, a catcher. Couple of strikeouts and a walk tonight for Andrew. He's got runners at 1st and 2nd. He came up with bases loaded and no out in the 3rd and struck out looking. Runner going, the throw down to 3rd, and McNicholas trying to steal 3rd is out. Wow, that's with 2 away, that's an interesting decision, and El Dorado's out of the inning. So for Great Bend, no runs, no hits, 1 left in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 9-4 Broncos. Bottom of the 6th inning. Brady Sargent stands in and looks at strike one. Chandler Gant's been good out of the pen for Great Bend. Jonathan Perry started. He struggled. Neil Lemons came in. He got roughed up a bit. Gant has brought in a little bit of order for Roger Ward and the Great Bend Batcats, and he's ahead 0-2 on Brady Sargent. Brady 1 for 2 tonight with a sac fly and a run scored. 0-2 in the turf, and it's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch hit out into left center field. A base hit for Brady Sargent. He makes the turn. He is on his way to second. Here's the throw. It's a little offline and safe. Brady Sargent with a hustling double. And El Dorado is really challenging the arms in the outfield tonight. Not a bad throw. It wasn't right on the base. It was a little left to the third base side of second, but close play. Jordan Anstandig fouls it off. And it's 0-1. No balls and a strike to Anstandig. He's the only Bronco who hasn't been on base tonight. That one in the turf. Great job by Schatz behind the plate. Most of the time that would have gone to the backstop, but he did a fantastic job of blocking that one. 1 ball and 1 strike to Anstandig. A pop out to first, a fly out to center, and ground out to first. And the 1-1 is in there for a strike. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Brady Sargent down at second base. And Anstandig lifts this one out to center field. Ray going back, makes the catch. Sargent will hold up at second. And Anstandig retreats to the dugout. Jordan hit that one well, but Blaine Ray tracked it down. Daniel DeSimone coming up with 1 away here in the 6th. Daniel is 2 for 2 tonight, 2 runs scored, a stolen base. And he looks at a fastball in for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch from Gant. And DeSimone held up. 1 ball and 1 strike. DeSimone, a chopper towards third. Sargent will advance to third. Good strong throw by Reese Johnson to retire Daniel. So 2 away, and here's Caleb Littlejim. Caleb 2 for 2 tonight. 2 runs scored and an RBI. And he looks at strike 1. Chandler Gant doing a good job getting ahead. The 0-1, Littlejim hits it out to short. Reese Johnson has it. Couple of steps, strong throw to first, and the Broncos are retired. Leadoff double. Doesn't hurt Great Bend. We go to the 7th inning. 9-4 El Dorado. Andrew Schatz, who was at the plate when Austin McNicholas got thrown out trying to steal third. First pitch swinging, rolls it out to Little Jim, and he'll throw over to first and retire Schatz. One away, and that'll bring up Blaine Ray. Blaine Ray 0 for 2 tonight with a sacrifice fly RBI. Oregon State leading Mississippi State 5-1 in the 6th inning. College World Series up in Omaha. Smith starts off Ray with a ball, 1-0. And inside, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's a little bit in, 3-0. So a 3-0, and that's low. A 4-pitch walk to Blaine Ray. Zach Braun will come up. Barone 1 for 3 tonight. Coming into play, a 194 hitter. He doubled in a run and scored in the 3rd inning for Great Bend. One 0 pitch, drops low, 2-0. 6 in a row out of the zone for Ben Smith. And he wants Brady Sargent to come out and visit. 9-4 Broncos, top of the 7th inning here. The 2-0 pitch, that one's in the zone. Hit softly to Little Jim. He has to come in, and the only play is at first. He makes that play. And that's a 2nd out. Moving up to second base is Blaine Ray. So here's Nolan Riley, who's 2 for 3. Toby Reuter, the Bronco manager, coached Nolan Riley in high school at Augusta High. Augusta, just about a 15-minute jaunt or so to the south here of El Dorado. First pitch is a little bit high, 1-0. Hello to Charles Parrish. Charles celebrated his 83rd birthday today. He's the grandfather of Dylan Zenzel. Dylan went 3 2/3 tonight. Had 6 strikeouts. That fastball in there for strike 1. Charles, thanks so much for the email. And glad you're enjoying El Dorado Bronco baseball up in Lansing, Michigan. One drops in there for a strike, 1 and 2. You can email us, Caden Broadcasting, CADEN, Caden Broadcasting at gmail.com. Fun to hear from all of you watching tonight. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Smith. Runner on the go. Sargent with a strong throw to third. Got him again. And again, a Great Bend Batcat thrown out trying to steal third with 2 outs. Riley will come back to the dish. That was not a strikeout. And that's the end of the top of the 7th. Time to stretch in El Dorado. Broncos 9, Batcats 4. Bottom of the seventh inning here from McDonald Stadium. Carvalho, Toth, and Coyne. A couple of Alma Scots coming up this inning for El Dorado. I know we've got a good Alma following here on YouTube and on Twitter. And see a couple of Scots here this inning. 9-4 El Dorado. Chandler Gant has retired 7 of the last 8 Broncos. Brady Sargent's double is the only Bronco to reach in the last 8. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Pete Carvalho. Carvalho's walked twice, scored once, and driven in a run. He was also thrown out at the plate by Urban McCulloch. And now Carvalho down 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Chandler Gant winds and deals, tries the outside corner, just missed. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch called strike 3. Caught the inner third. So 1 away. Chandler Gant came in with 2 outs in the 3rd inning and was able to get a shallow fly ball to left field, and then Urban McCulloch threw out Carvalho at home. A little bit of trouble for Gant in the 4th inning. He gave up 3 singles in that inning, but only 1 run, and then 1, 2, 3 in the 5th, a double, and then 3 straight outs in the 6th, and now a strikeout to start the 7th. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Austin Toth. And the pitch, Toth fouls it out of play. 9 runs on 11 hits, no errors for El Dorado. 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for Great Bend. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Toth, and in the turf, 2-2. Toth, a couple of fly balls to center field. He was hit by a pitch and has a sacrifice fly out to left. So officially 0 for 2. And the pitch up the middle, right back at Gant. He'll go halfway, underhand the rest, and there's 2 away. Jen Sargent with a great comment. She says, when are they going to learn not to run on Brady? Brady's snap throws to third. They have been right on the base. All Sheets has had to do is catch it and apply the tag. Jarrett Coyne got hit in the shoulder on that pitch. So a hit by pitch. And Jarrett Coyne will walk down to first base. Jarrett Coyne, that is the 5th time this year he's been hit by a pitch. He leads the team by a long way. Well said, Jen Sargent. Tanner Sheets looks at strike 1. Jarrett Coyne had a bluff down at first, and he hustled back. 2 away for El Dorado here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 9-4 Broncos. And the 0-1. Sheets held up. 1 ball and 1 strike. A ball and a strike, and that's high. Quick throw down to first, and Riley gets in front of that, makes sure it doesn't go into right field. 2 balls and a strike to Tanner Sheets. And hit up the middle, and Gant with a good glove makes the play, throws over to first, and that's the end of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We'll go to the 8th inning, 9-4 El Dorado. New pitcher for El Dorado, Connor Peterson. 6'2", 220 out of Wichita, goes to Bethany College in the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference. Good outing for Ben Smith. 3 1/3 innings of work, gave up no hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. He hit a man. And he was helped out. B. Sargent threw out 2 base runners. And a changeup on the first pitch to Riley, in there for a strike, 0-1. Nolan Riley was at the plate when Ray was thrown out at third. Out of the zone, 1-1. Peterson, 10+ innings this season, a 2.61 ERA, 12 walks, 6 strikeouts. He's given up 8 hits. So his whip, his walks and hits to innings pitched, isn't great, but he's got a couple of saves on the season, an 0-1 record with 2 saves. 2 balls and a strike to Riley. Fastball low, 3-1. Toby Reuter would love to see Peterson finish out these last 2 innings and send El Dorado to their 4th straight win. Still work to do. The 3-1. Ball 4. Again, tomorrow's game is a 3 p.m. start. So tune in a little earlier tomorrow, a 3 o'clock start here in El Dorado. Try to get the game in front of the weather. Maybe Gary and I can get home before getting wet. Peterson delivers low to Urban McCulloch. The left fielder has got a couple of strikeouts and a single, 1 for 3 tonight. And the 1-0 is low, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes to Urban McCulloch, and that one's in there for strike 1. Two one is fisted down the third base side. That's a foul ball. Sheets able to glove it, made a throw, ends up right up against the fence to the bullpen for El Dorado. Two balls and 2 strikes. More thunderstorms in Kansas, but quite a bit west right now. Some thunderstorms warnings out near Garden City. 2-1 pitch, and that one's high, and it's a full count. .79 degrees right now here in El Dorado. There's one off the fist to third. Sheets has it. Strong throw to second, and off the chest of Anstandig. Probably an error. Yep. Not a good throw would have had Riley down at second. So a fielder's choice for McCulloch, and Riley advances to second on the error. So Great Bend down 5, a walk and an error to start off the 8th inning. They've got 2 runners on and nobody out. Thomas Alexander looks at strike 1. Alexander's 0 for 3, 2 groundouts to shortstop and a strikeout. Oh, 1 pitch from Peterson inside, 1-1. A lot of attention out at second, but with a 5-run lead, really the focus has to be on Thomas Alexander here. Nolan Riley doing a good job trying to distract Connor Peterson. And Peterson looking back. Again, Riley getting into the head here of Connor Peterson. 1 ball and 1 strike to Alexander. Number 9 batter in the order for Great Bend. And the pitch hit out into center field. Carvalho underneath it. No tag. And Carvalho dropped it. He'll throw it to second and safe at second. Carvalho, boy, there was no tag. He looked like he was getting ready to catch and throw, and he did it too quickly. So back-to-back errors for El Dorado at the bottom of the Great Bend order. And now they turn it over to Reese Johnson. And again, with a 5-run lead, no need to be that concerned. Here's a ball out to left field. Jarrett Coyne drifting, coming over, dives, and couldn't make the catch. It's a base hit. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Here's a throw to third, and safe. It'll be a double for Reese Johnson. And we've got a 3-run game. Alexander moves to third. 2 RBIs for Reese Johnson. And it's 9-6. Still nobody out for Great Bend. And a bounced foul by McNicholas. Austin struck out in the first, singled and scored in the third, walked in the fourth, and hit into a fielder's choice in the sixth. Curveball hit out into center field. Carvalho underneath it, makes the catch. That'll score 1. And moving to third base is Reese Johnson, and it's 9-7. So Alexander comes in to score. 3 are in for Great Bend here in the 8th. Well, tough luck for Connor Peterson. That, for all intents and purposes, should have been the 3rd out. Gavin Johnson up at the plate, left-handed batter, and that first pitch low. Johnson tonight 1 for 3 with a walk. And a swing and a miss at the slow curve. 1 ball, 1 strike. Four in the 3rd inning for Great Bend tonight. Now 3 here in the 8th. With a runner at 3rd with 1 out. And a bouncer to short. That'll score a run. Little Jim has it over to first. And 2 are away, but the 4th run of the inning in a 1-run game now, 9-8. RBI ground out for Johnson. Andrew Schatz comes up with the bases empty and 2 out. Walk, error, double, sac fly, and a ground out. And way out in front is Schatz for strike 1. He's 0 for 3 tonight, 2 strikeouts and a walk. The 0-1 from Peterson. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Oh, 2 pitch, hit out into center field. Carvalho drifting back, camps under it, and has the catch for the 3rd out. A couple of errors for El Dorado. The Great Bend Batcats score 4 times on 1 hit, 2 errors, no one left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 9-8, El Dorado. Maddox Solomon will lead it off for El Dorado here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Solomon, a sharp single to left field. One hop out to Urban McCulloch, and a single for Solomon. Great Bend has someone warming up down in the bullpen. Chandler Gant's been really good for the Bad Cats. Nine-8 game here, bottom of the 8th inning. Great Bend has been here before. A number of one-run losses for Great Bend already on the season. And the pitch to Sargent is on the corner for strike one. Brady tonight is 2 for 3. He's been productive. A sacrifice fly in the first, a strikeout in the second, but then a single and scored in the fourth, doubled in the sixth. Led off the 6th inning with that double. And Sargent hits this one in the hole between third and short. And back-to-back singles for El Dorado. Third hit of the night for Brady Sargent. El Dorado jumped out tonight to a 6-0 lead. Great Bend scored 4 in the third to make it 6-4, and El Dorado had an answer, scored 2 in the bottom of the third to push the lead to 8-4. Scored another in the fourth to make it 9-4. Here's Jordan Anstandig. Jordan is the only Bronco not to reach base tonight. He's 0 for 4. First baseman Riley playing way in, expecting bunt. And the pitch. Anstandig pulls it back, and it's ball one. For Jordan, if he's bunting, lay that thing down towards third. Force the third baseman to make a play. Here's the 1-0. Anstandig a little late on showing the bunt. It's a ball, 2-0. In this day and age, you just rarely see a guy just square, even like right now. 2-0. And the pitch. And again, just late showing the bunt. That's in there for a strike. 2 on, no out for El Dorado. Now he's squared around nice and early. And the pitch. Bunted towards third, a beauty. This is going to be a tough play at first. And the throw safe. Anstandig with a beauty. That'll be a base hit. Base is loaded, and here's a slow walk out for Roger Ward. Looks like we're going to get a new pitcher, El Dorado. Base is loaded. Nobody out. It's a 9-8 Bronco lead. We're back in a moment here on YouTube. New pitcher for Great Bend. We'll have a brother tandem. Tomorrow night, we'll have Gabe Little-Jim for El Dorado pitching and probably Caleb at shortstop. Here tonight for Great Bend, we have Andrew Schatz catching and Anthony Schatz pitching. Anthony, Lafayette, California, goes to Cuesta College in California. And what numbers do I have on Anthony Schatz? This is his 5th game. 10 innings of work, 13 hits. He's given up 5 runs, all earned, 8 walks, 10 strikeouts, a 4.5 ERA. Anthony Schatz has a 1-0 record on the season. Bases loaded, no outs. Solomon led off with a hard single to left. Then Sargent hit it through between third and short. A bunt single for Anstandig. And the first pitch from Schatz is a ball, 1-0. The first baseman, Riley, playing in on the grass, so to speak. It's turf, but he's on the green part of the turf. The middle infield playing about halfway, and third base playing in a bit. And high to Daniel DeSimone, 2-0. Daniel is 2 for 3 tonight. 2 singles, 2 runs scored. Bases loaded, no out. 9-8 El Dorado. Anthony Schatz with a 2-0 count. And the pitch, and a swing and a miss, strike 1. Tied up Daniel there a bit on the inner third. Two balls, 1 strike. And that pitch high, ball 3. El Dorado not opposed to a freebie here. Looking for some insurance after Great Bend scored 4 in the top of the 8th. The 3-1, high, ball 4. Bases loaded, RBI walk. And El Dorado leads 10-8. And here's Caleb Little-Jim. Caleb's 2 for 3. A double, a single, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Still bases loaded, no out. And high, ball 1. And brother Andrew will come out and talk to Anthony. Tomorrow's game, again, a 3 o'clock start. Monday, El Dorado is on the road at Hayesville. Day off Tuesday. And then Wednesday night here against the Hayesville Aviators at 7 o'clock. Next weekend, El Dorado goes to Great Bend. Here's the 1-0. Inside and high, 2-0. Well, do you give Caleb the take here? Wait for Anthony to throw a strike. If he pumps one down the middle, does he have a green light? Let's see. 2 balls and no strikes. And this one, he was swinging. He was out in front of it into foul territory, and that will get into the Bronco bullpen. Caleb saw a pitch he liked. He took a good cut at it and fouled it. Again, Sunday home, Monday at Hayesville, Wednesday home to Hayesville, Thursday at Hayesville, next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Great Bend. Here's the 2-1, and Little-Jim hits this one out into left field, going back to the track, to the wall, and caught. And trying to get to third. Runner is safe, runner scores, Sargent scores tagging. Anstandig gets to third. DeSimone goes to second on a long sac fly by Caleb Little-Jim. Almost had a grand slam. Second RBI of the night for Little-Jim. Now no force. Runners at second and third, 1 out, and the Broncos lead 11-8. They may get more, you don't know, but Great Bend has had 2 4-run innings tonight, and each time they've scored 4, El Dorado's come back to score at least 2. No balls and a strike to Pete Carvalho. And a little bit outside, 1-1. Pete tonight is 1 for 2 officially with a double. Struck out in the 7th. He walked and scored in the 2nd, walked again in the 4th. The 1-1. Carvalho up the middle. That'll get a run in. Throw over to first. Safe. It took the first baseman Riley off the bag. And an error will be charged. So no RBI. It is an RBI. Carvalho reaches. And Standig scores. DeSimone moves over to third. And El Dorado pads their lead to 12-8. And here is the 6th time to the plate for Austin Toth. And bounces it to third. DeSimone getting in a rundown here between third and home. And diving, and he is tagged out. That did keep El Dorado out of a double play. Decision there for Alexander. He could have tried to go around the diamond to get a double play, but wanted to cut down the run, and they did. That was a 5-2, and a good job by the catcher Schatz to run down DeSimone and get the out. Toth at first. Carvalho moves to second. Here's Jarrett Coyne. Fastball high. One ball, no strikes to Jarrett Coyne. Coyne's 2 for 3 tonight. And hits this one out into center field. Ray has it. But El Dorado answers. 4 runs by Great Bend in the top half of the inning. El Dorado comes back with 3 in the bottom half. We head to the 9th inning. El Dorado 12, Great Bend 8. So we go to the top of the 9th inning. El Dorado 12. And Great Bend 8. Got a score in here. You guys got to listen to this. Hayes defeated Derby tonight 26-1. And they called it after 8 innings. And Hayes won the first game. Hayes won the suspended game, so the Larks are going for a sweep. Their game tomorrow will start at 2 o'clock at Derby. Again, because of weather possibly coming in tomorrow afternoon. Hayes 26-1. I wonder if after 8 they just said that's enough. Let's just quit. They must have. Is there a run rule in Joe? Hayes is 15-4 on the season, 9-3 in Jayhawk play. Blaine Ray leads off for Great Bend, and he's got 2 strikes on him. Connor Peterson remains out there for El Dorado. Again, we start at 3 o'clock tomorrow. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and hit towards Sheets at third. He gobbles it up, now fires over to first and retires Blaine Ray. So 1 away. Zach Barone comes up. First pitch in there for a strike. And that's in there as well for a strike. Quickly 0-2 here on Zach Barone, who's 1 for 4 tonight. The 0-2 bounces in. A ball and 2 strikes, and the pitch, that's out of the zone. Two balls, 2 strikes. Connor Peterson with the pitch, high, ball 3. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 away for Great Bend. They trail by 4 here in the 9th inning. And nub towards short. Little Jim charging. Glenn off his glove. That's going to be an infield single for Barone. So here's Nolan Riley. Nolan walked and scored to start off the 4-run 8th inning for Great Bend. And the pitch from Peterson stays upstairs, 1-0. And the 1-0, low, 2-0. Two balls, strikes, 2 Nolan Riley. Low, ball 3. So way ahead here is Riley. Doubled in the second, singled in the third. That single in the third was a 2 RBI single. Right down Main Street, 4 strike 1. 3 balls and a strike. Great Bend tonight has had 2 runners thrown out, trying to steal second to third when they had 2 outs. 3-1 pitch. Low, ball 4. So Great Bend. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Here's Nick Urban McCulloch. 1 for 4 tonight, a couple of strikeouts, a run scored in that 8th inning. And the pitch from Peterson, whistled fouled on the third base side. No balls and a strike to Urban McCulloch. Connor Peterson winds and deals the pitch, and that's fouled off 0-2. Will they test Brady Sargent again? No balls, 2 strikes. Barone at second, Riley at first. And that pitch misses, and a snap throw down to first, and sliding in safely is Riley. One ball, 2 strikes. Thomas Alexander waits on deck. And the pitch, curveball, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Two away, and the last hope for Great Bend tonight is Thomas Alexander. Young man out of Idaho Falls, Idaho, goes to Regis University. Thomas hitting 138 on the season. He is 0 for 4 tonight with a run scored. And the first pitch in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike. The pitch from Peterson dives inside. Sargent with a good block. Peterson, the pitch, and that's inside, 2-1. El Dorado won here Wednesday against Hayesville, went to Derby on Thursday, won 3-2. A 4-3 rain-shortened win last night. And now up 12-8 here in the 9th with 2 outs. The pitch hit towards short. Little Jim has it. He will go to first. And DeSimone with a great pick. And that will end the game. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left. And El Dorado has made it 4 in a row, and they get their record to 500 in the Jayhawk. Final score tonight, El Dorado, 12 runs, 14 hits, 2 errors. Great Bend, 8 runs, 9 hits, 4 errors. The winning pitcher, I think, is going to be Ben Smith. Zenzel only went 3 2/3, so I think Ben Smith gets the win tonight for El Dorado. The losing pitcher is going to be Jonathan Perry. And do we have a save? Would that be a save situation? No. Time of tonight's game, 2 hours and 51 minutes. And El Dorado wins it 12-8. So the Broncos have won the series. They go for the sweep tomorrow. 3 o'clock start here tomorrow. Great Bend and El Dorado. Third game of this 3-game series. Appreciate all the comments and the emails. Look forward to talking to you again tomorrow afternoon. 12-8 Broncos. Kurt Caden bidding you good night from El Dorado.